Bishop Jones, on behalf of the family of Michael Brown Jr., we first want to thank you for opening up this beautiful sanctuary for us to come together, united and stand for justice for Michael Brown Jr. Certainly want to thank the organizations who are on the forefront of this rally. Want to thank the National Bar Association, President Pam Means, who you will hear from in just a second, and the National Action Network, Reverend Al Sharpton, who you will certainly hear from this afternoon. But as we talk about brothers and sisters, what we're here for is not to have a show or anything like that. We're here to talk about justice. We're here to talk about standing up for our children. Because if we don't stand up for our children, nobody will stand up for our children. And so before we have family members address you, we want to have representatives from the National Bar Association, President Pam Means, and Attorney Darrell Parks, past president and member of the legal team for Michael Brown. Please come to the podium. Give her a round of applause.
Amen, church. Amen, church. There is a passage in the scripture that says what the devil meant for bad, God meant it for good. Eric Gardner, John Crawford is.
See, he laid on Penfield and lost his life. The officer went away. And so to everyone who would want to continue to assassinate his character, you should stop. He didn't kill anybody. The issue in this case is simple. Why would that officer shoot him in the way he did as he tried to surrender? Michael Brown deserved justice.
At this time, we will have a family representative of Michael Brown's family come and address you briefly. And please understand that Leslie and Michael's parents will not be speaking today. It's not because they don't want to thank you. It's just a heavy heart they are giving us today. You know, Reverend Jackson, as it has often been said, nobody volunteers for this position that they find themselves in. Nobody wakes up and say, I want to be a martyr for a child who was executed in broad daylight. And let's be clear about this, Reverend Al, as we talk. Your community deserves transparency. You all deserve to know that the police department will work in the best interest of your children. And there is nothing that can justify the execution-style murder of Leslie's son. Please give a round of applause for family member Ty Pruitt and attorney Anthony Gray, a member of the legal team here in St. Louis, Missouri.
So before I say anything, I just wanted to kick it off like that.
Listen, what I want y'all to remember is that Michael Brown was not just some young black boy. He was a human being. He was a younger cousin. He was a son. He was an uncle, a nephew. He was not a suspect. He was not an object. He was not an animal. But that's how he was killed. This was the last actions that our family member made before he went to rest. This will be stuck in my family's memories for the rest of our lives. So when you protest, love for all y'all.
Yes, we do.
Know that they would have their day in court, that the killer of their child would be held accountable to the full extent of the law. Right now they say we have an arrested judgment, but wasn't an arrested judgment when they left him down there on that ground for 4 hours trying to get that story together? Wasn't an arrested judgment when they tried to assassinate his character on Friday? And so, y'all, we stand with this family. So they won't be by themselves. They know they're not going to be by themselves. Remember the same feeling you have right now. Because 5-6 months, when they finish this investigation, and they just going to smear his name, they're going to say everything about him. But just know, he had a right as an American citizen to due process of law. Without further ado, Leslie's father made a call around the same time they.
It is how the rights of people are dealt with by the state. Ferguson and Michael Brown Jr. will be a defining moment on how this country deals with policing and the rights of its citizens to redress how police behave in this country. There will be no toleration of you trying to change the issue now. In 3 weeks, we saw a woman pummeled on the freeway in Los Angeles. We saw a man choked to death on video while he said, "I can't breathe," 11 times. Then we come to Ferguson, Missouri, the show me state, and see a young man, 18 years old, shot down in the streets unarmed. And rather than you address it, you try to smear the young man rather than uphold the principles of justice and dignity. I want you to know these parents are not going to cry alone. They're not going to stand alone. They're not going to fight alone. We can enough. And anybody that is going to be taken seriously in this country need to address police and Michael Brown. I heard some of the senators talk, but where are the leading candidates for president? Jeb Bush, Hillary Clinton, don't get laryngitis on this issue. Nobody can go to the White House. Let's stop by our house and talk about peace. Let me be clear. When the grandfather called me and I came and met with the father and mother, I told them, I'm not no drive-by activist. We'll be here until justice is achieved. Let me be real clear. I know they're going to smear Michael. They may even try to smear the parents. They're going to call the lawyers names. They're going to call me names. But I come from Brooklyn, a section called Do or Die Bed-Stuy. I've been in the movement, Joe Madison, since I was a teenager. Youth Direct Operation Breadbasket under Reverend Jackson. I was 13. In all of my life, I've never seen nothing more despicable than while this mother and this father and their families haven't even had the time to bury their son, the police chief would release a tape trying to disparage his name while his mama's still weeping, while the family hasn't even laid him to rest. How can the young folk of the city believe in a system that would try to spit on the name and character of a young man who hasn't even been buried? Then you have to come out and say, well, it had nothing to do with the shooting. Then why did you put it out? First of all, let me tell the media, the tape I saw, they talk about they got a tape of this great robbery. I saw tape of some young guy that may have been shoplifting. They're different between robbery and shoplifting. Now, I don't condone either, but you don't have to stretch it to help a smear campaign. But the issue is not what he shoplifted. The issue is not what he did before. The issue is how a young man with no deadly threat, no life extenuating circumstances was shot multiple times. That's the issue, and that's the issue America's got to deal with. We don't want no double talking. We don't want no backstabbing. We want to know where justice is. We heard tonight from Officer Johnson, we're not anti-police. We don't think all police are bad. We're not anti-sitting down and solving the problem, but there's a difference between calling for peace and calling for quiet. Peace means that we have equal protection under the law. Quiet means just shut up and silent. We are not going to shut up We're going to come together and have a real peace in this country. Let me clear up one misnomer. They say, well, why is the family calling about the federal government coming in? Officers of the federal government coming in. One, if you look at what the chief did, you know why the local people can't trust local authorities. How you going to trust them that smear victim to bring their issue before anybody? Second, I've got experience in this. I was involved in the After the Weaver movement. Those cops were prosecuted. I was involved in Rodney King, for the Anthony Baez. So I have a record knowing what these federal laws do. Race is not required in a federal case of civil rights if law enforcement is involved. Excessive force by the state is a violation of civil rights. So while y'all run around media looking for something that don't need to be there, we never approved race in Acton of the Weaver. We proved excessive force by the state. So there is clear federal exposure here. Let me say this and bring my brother on. We want an action plan. We have said to our young folk, we understand the anger. We're angry. But you're not more angry than the parents. And while you show some of the young people out of control, show some of the young people that went out there last night and night before last and helped clean up and stand up in their neighborhood. This is not our generation. There's young people that want justice and know how to protest peacefully. Some are angry and out of control. Others are taking advantage of it. And don't take advantage of their child. There's a difference between an activist and a thug. Don't loot in Michael's name. We are not looters. We are liberators. We are not buyers. We are builders. Three things. One, we are going to have a dignified, a incomparable service for their son. The day they choose to lay in the rest, we don't want nothing to move, but showing our commitment to justice for this family. Second, we want to deal with the militarization of police in this country. The shocking display of military operations. We saw millions of dollars roll down all kinds of military equipment like you were at war with your citizens. If you got enough money to bring all that equipment in here, you got money for jobs for these young people. Martin the 3rd and I met with State Senator Jamila Nasheed, Hazel Irby, and Brother Anthony Shaheed, and Grassroots King himself, and others that we have met with. Vaki Baruti, These people we will work with. We need to bring jobs to the young folk. They are mad because they get up mad every day because you're giving them no future. We need to, since you showed us you got some money, we're going to show you how to spend it. Thirdly, we're going to have a drive in this town. 67% of the city black, 3 black cops out of 53, no blacks on the school board. Michael Brown gonna change this town. I've asked Bishop Jones to work with us to do a voter registration, voter turnout. And some of y'all that's mad now were mad 3 weeks ago for election day. Y'all got to stop voting and showing up. 12% turnout is an insult to your children. Lastly, on May 2nd, National Civil Rights Leaders will be calling. We need to go to Congress after they come back from break. We're going to call a day, we'll announce it May 2nd. We're going to have an arms up rally and march in D.C. to demand federal legislation around policing, how we get police and community to work together. We're going to the United States Capitol. We ain't got no great speech. We just gonna throw our arms. We gonna throw our arms. We have started here. Reverend Lee, where's Reverend Lee? Reverend Toon, Reverend Lee. We started the other night with the mother and father. I asked for 100 young men and women in this community, let them come up. Hold it, Reverend Toon. I want these young people have committed, started going through training. They're going to be in the streets. Come forward, you that are here, National Action Network's Disciples of Justice, DJs, right here in Ferguson. Come on, come on, come on. They're going to stay in the streets to keep the peace and to bring the justice. Give them a big hand. Give them a big hand. Come on, give these young folk a hand. There's 50 to 75 out in the crowd, but I want them to give their hand. These are Ferguson folk that's going to stay in the hood, stay in the street, and keep peace. You talk about a young generation. These are young folk that's going to protect their neighborhood and talk to their economy. All right, give them a big hand. I just want to. All right, y'all can take your seat. I I told the family that all over the world, they had no idea how many people are supporting them. But there's one man whose name and image has reached a level that every language, every race knows just by the mention of that name what it means. He was taken from us. When many of you weren't born, I was barely 13 years old. But I remember that night. But I've been blessed to work with his oldest child. We've been to jail together in St. Louis. We laid out one morning on I-7 and forced black construction job right here. And that construction program down in Ferguson is still going on. I was blessed through him to work with his mother and his wife. The other night after I saw it and fought back the memories of watching the tears of this mother and the grim, tight-lipped determination of the father, I called Atlanta and said, Martin, we need you to come back to St. Louis with us. And he said, I've been watching this. I didn't want to go uninvited. I said, no, the parents would be honored if you.
Ferguson, St. Louis County. Those who are from St. Louis and those of us who are from around the country. I first must say to Sister Leslie and Brother Michael that the world is praying for you. Yeah. Not just us here, but the whole world has prayed and is praying for you. I don't know that anyone, unless one is a parent, can understand what a parent goes through when a child moves to another level as it relates to something called finality. I remember my father preaching a sermon one time about death. And he talked about his own funeral, and I'm not going to talk about that today, but it just popped in my mind. Because I was 10 years old when my dad was gunned down. I was 12, 11 when my uncle mysteriously drowned. I was 15 when my grandmother was gunned down in the church by planting the Lord's Prayer. So while I don't understand losing a child, I understand losing a loved one. Yeah. And all of us should understand losing a loved one. Yeah. The stage has been set. And today and forever, people will be talking about Michael Brown. That is for sure. But what this community chooses to do, I mean, Rev has already talked about jobs and opportunity. This is the time for America to create opportunities in communities all across this county and this country. There is no shortage of resources. There's just a shortage before now. Maybe there was a shortage of a will. You see, when we think about this thing, and we think about victims, Victor Hugo used to say that wherever there's darkness, crimes will occur, but the guilty one is not really he who created the crime, but those who created the darkness. I hope you understand that what I'm saying is that when we create the climate, when we create training and opportunity jobs for people across America, much of what we see will go away.
That's only one thing. The second thing is our police departments need human relations, sensitivity, and diversity training. When you understand how to interact, because every ethnic group is different. Every ethnic group has made a contribution to this nation. Now, finally, I want to say this before I go to my seat, because I wanted to be here, and we'll be back again and again. Why? Because my dad used to say that our destinies are sort of tied. More and more people will be coming to St. Louis. And the leadership here has encouraged not just justice, but justice perhaps won't come. And the current prosecutor has demonstrated bias. Therefore, he should recuse himself if he is found in right. But that only happens when one of the things you do is sign a petition that's online that others will be talking about. Because and as I say, America is watching, and the world, and as Rev said, people are really embarrassed. Because we go all over the world promoting democracy and fairness, at least that's what we say. And yet we're not even creating democracy in our own communities.
That this young lady, Maya Ayton White, has shown. You ask who she is, not even a week after being shot in the head while participating in a rally supporting Michael Brown Jr. and his family, she has made a full recovery and is back here still supporting Michael and his family because she understands that it is not right to execute our children. So let's stand up. Let's stand up. Let's stand up for justice.
You all that want to help me help this family, whatever the results are, wherever we gotta go, we as people that have values ought to say, wait a minute, I could be sitting there. And if the pain they are bearing is unbearable, they should not, at least not have to worry about things like their daily moving around in the bills. So I want people, I want you to get out your best offer. I want, first of all of you that are ministers, stand. Everybody that's a preacher. All right, wait a minute. Now while you're standing, I want $100 from every preacher. I'm going to see if you got a congregation or not. I want y'all to come on down. Now, whoever else got 100, come with it, but come on. Come on. Some honey. Come on. Reverend Jackson. Come on. Joe Madison acting like a preacher today. This is for the family. Anybody with 100, come on. Folk out, that's what we do. Come here a minute. Y'all know Kiki Palmer. She getting ready to be the first black Cinderella on Broadway. That's what I told the prosecutor. I heard your story, but the shoe don't fit. Cinderella had to find the right foot to fit. This stuff y'all telling me in Ferguson don't fit. We're going to hear from Kiki. So glad you came. She probably wanted to be with the family.
I just want to say, it's unfortunate that these events have to happen, but the love that I feel in the room with all of you has overjoyed me to such a point that I can't even express. And we have to just continue to unify and to stand in what we believe. We have to stick together because only we can do it, but only if we stick together. So God bless all of y'all and just continue to do what you're doing. I'm so thankful to be a part of all of this. I truly am.
I got another TV star. Judge Great Mathis is in the house. All right, wait a minute. Did y'all finish giving? All right, now, I only got the hundreds now. Come on, now, everybody. If you couldn't give 100, if you can give 50, come on. Don't worry, I'm coming all the way down to you. Come on, 50s, come on. I want y'all to come down. I grew up Church of God in Christ. If they walk, they give more money. Checks payable to the Michael Brown Fund, FUND. Come on, $20. Everybody, come on, 20s. Singing for justice. Everybody sing. Everybody sing. We want justice. Ferguson was over. Oh, Michael Brown, y'all. Got to have justice. We want justice. Everybody sing. One more time. Everybody sing. Everybody sing. Everybody dance. Everybody sing. Everybody sing. I have two announcements I want to make. Come on, brother. Let's give Reverend Al Sharpton a round of applause. I want to say, on behalf of the Urban League of St. Louis, Boys and Girls Club of St. Louis, I traveled here from Madison, Wisconsin. Today we're going to announce that all 3 kids of the Browns family will receive a free scholarship to go to college. And we also announce today we will be giving the family a $20,000 donation. I want to thank rather on the same day it started. It's a whole lot for them to have to stand up here and bear this and be reminded over and over, so we're not going to tear it. All right. Let them take a seat. We usher them out. Congressman Clay is here. So every elected official, I named the ones on the party, and Betty, where's Betty? The Queen. The Queen is here. Betty Thompson. It ain't official till Betty Thompson is here. Speaking for the elected officials, Congressman Lacey Clay.
Reverend Al, let me first give honor to God, who's always at the center of my life. Let me thank the National Bar Association and the National Action Network for coming to the assistance of this community, and our nation mourns with you. Your tears are our tears. Your pain is our pain, and your loss is being felt around the world. Ms. McSpadden, when we spoke, I promised you that I would bring together every resource of the federal government to relentlessly pursue justice for Michael and your family. And today, I want you to know that I intend to keep that promise. Over the last week, I continue to have regular contact with the White House, Attorney General Holder, and the U.S. Department of Justice. And I want to give a big shout out to the President and Attorney General Holder for stepping up in a big way today. They have officially made this investigation a civil rights violation. They are starting on no ground because we know from history and track record that we are going to get justice this time. That's what I know. I'm not going to count on the county prosecutor of the state of Missouri. We're going to go with the federal government on this one. And as you heard Reverend Al tell you, it doesn't have to be about murder. It can be about excessive force. That's a civil rights violation. And so we will pursue with your family, with your legal team, all of the avenues in order for this family and this community to receive a little bit of justice. It is not, you only deserve justice. You know, Mike Brown was my constituent. He was bright, talented, full of hope, 18 years old, and ready to start college. He was also male and black, and sadly, that made him a target. And his tragic death is really a symptom of a much bigger problem. Namely, unarmed black men interacting with law enforcement and winding up dead. And this country is long overdue for a discussion about the tragic intersection of an over-militarized law enforcement establishment with people of color. It happened in Ferguson. It happened in Florida. It happened in New York. It happened in Oakland, California, and other places around this country. And I'm sick and tired of it. So, Ms. McSpadden and Mr. Brown, your son was a precious child. His senseless death wounds us all. And I promise you that we are going to relentlessly pursue justice for Michael's sake and for yours. May God continue to bless you and give you the courage as you bear this terrible burden. And I promise you that we won't quit until justice is resolved.
We have Dr. Emilio, who's been leading some of the protests. We have a lot of people that couldn't get in. We're going to hear an announcement in a minute. Those that are victims of the first 3 days of the police abuse, tear gas and all, the Black Lawyers for Justice, we filed a federal civil rights class action suit. We want people to call 202-369-9986 if you were hurt. And let me tell you something, he's been out there every night trying to keep people from getting hurt and trying to keep the peace. This is a time where whatever tactical disagreements we've got, we drop when the family needs to be together. Let me recognize Reverend Mark Thompson. We know him from XM Radio. And the Black Eagle, Joe Madison. Where Joe? Eagle must be flying somewhere. Reverend Charles Williams, Detroit chapter, Nash Action Network. Before we bring in the closing speakers, I must acknowledge and bring up for words founding president, National Rainbow Coalition, Reverend Jesse Jackson. All right, he said he don't want to say nothing. And y'all know he helped raise me. I'm glad he got his arms up. Y'all young folk got him energized. All right. Let me say, Martin and all of us, tomorrow or the next day, sooner than you think, the autopsy will come out. Then the funeral. Then we're going to Washington. The race isn't given to the swift, nor to the strong, but to those that endure to the end. And this is not about who we are against, this is about what we are for. This is not a movement of love, it's a movement, not a movement of hate, but a movement of love, and nothing we love more than our children. And I want all of us to act like that and stand like that. Let us all stand together. Take the hand of the person next to you. I hope you stand next to somebody you don't like. I want you to repeat after me. Reverend Lee. Reverend Lee. No, don't repeat that. I just tried. Reverend Lee, raise your hand. Pastor here in Ferguson is our point man for Nash Action Network and our movement. Great young leader, activist, leader, disciples. Please, when he calls, respond. Reverend Lee. Repeat after me. I pledge with all that I am capable of, to do my duty, to stand for justice, and for peace. Let Michael Brown be a point in history where we stop devaluing the lives of people. I pledge to do my best from this moment on to stand for justice.
I'll call you in a minute.